Hey everybody, have you ever noticed that the worse your mood is, that it's like the worse the batches become? And I don't think that's a coincidence. So if you stay with me to the end of this video, I'm going to share how I'm going to use this awareness to build an additional income stream on autopilot. And I guess I'm saying that I'm going to say right up front, I'm not a guru. I'm not a spiritual guru. And I'm not a Greg Braden, I'm not a Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I'm not a Tony Robbins. But I do know that I've learned a lot from them in a way that has helped me develop personally and has helped me become more aware of what makes up my being. And just to give you a little snippet of the way that I believe is that we are not just human beings that enjoy spiritual experiences here on this earth. I believe that we're actually spiritual beings, energy beings that are having human experiences. And I don't know, that makes the most sense to me, especially when I see, in light of like what I was talking about, how when we are in a seemingly negative place and we're like, we're in a place where there's like negative energy pouring out of us. And then all of a sudden we start noticing that all kinds of negative things are happening to us. And we're like, man, I can't get out of this. I'm trapped. And I know this kind of sounds a little bit contradictory to what I've talked about with regards to gig work and it being a trap. And I think part of the reason that I share stuff like that is to, grab attention, to help raise a level of awareness that makes people think, gets people to think, am I, do I really just have like a worker mentality where the only option that I have is to trade my time for money? And I don't want you to think that you're limited by that ideal, because you're not, and I'm not, and I'm trying to break free of it. And as I'm trying to break free of it, I want to help others break free of it too. And so I want you to think about how when you are having negative experiences, what is your mood? What is going on? Be more aware of that. And not only that, but when things are going really well, are you having positive experiences? And then, people will argue for this, and I have my answer for it, but it's like, I understand that, and it's hard to get your head wrapped around, like, what happens if I'm in a good place and bad things are happening to me? Well, and it's in the same way that sometimes you're in a bad place and good things are happening to you. And what I am aware of in that regard is that there's something called latent energy. And it's because we've not always been, the master of our spiritual energy, and we have been conflicted, and sometimes we've been kind of double-minded and conflicted. And so we've got a kind of a negative, positive kind of momentum going. So sometimes it's not always going straight out positive, and it's not always going straight out negative. But I think we can tap into it more if we're more aware of it. And a lot of times I just choose not to. Sometimes I just want to be negative as shit. I like whatever. But I eventually come around, because staying in that state is not at all pleasant, and it doesn't feel good. And that's one of the ways that what kind of state that you're in is how you feel. And if you're not feeling good about where you're at, well, it's time to make an adjustment. And how are you going to do that? Well, first of all, become aware of, that this is actually happening. I mean, another thing that I'm waxing kind of philosophical and a little bit spiritual, but one of the other things that I've noticed from my experience is that however I'm feeling on the inside is like pushed out into what my actual physical experience is. So I'm attracting what's going on from the inside. And that's kind of how I see it working for the most part. Now, how is that going to change what I'm doing to create an income on autopilot? Well, part of it is how I'm adjusting my mindset to believe that the system is going to work, and what I need to do to help make this system work. And one of those things is like this YouTube channel. And I'm really grateful to everybody that's supported and been a part of this with me. I have now 36 subscribers, and I'm totally thrilled by that. I'm kind of an introverted extrovert. So putting myself out here on video like this is, creates a feeling of vulnerability, and so it's not totally easy. So, but I'm learning and I'm growing from it, and that's what I mean is like, I'm not going to let like a limited mindset keep me from reaching where I want to be. And I have for so long, and I don't know about you, but maybe you have also, where you've held yourself back, by the choices you've made and the things you believed. And I'm trying to break free from the idea that I can only trade my time for money, and that I'm locked into this worker mentality, and that's the way I think about it. Because I really believe that there's a quadrant of being where you not only have like this desire to be an entrepreneur, but where you actually are an entrepreneur, that you develop a mindset and cultivate a mindset of being an entrepreneur. And that means stepping out of your comfort zone. That means seeing yourself being before you actually are, or before you actually realize that you are. You know what I mean? It's an adjustment. I mean, there's a way of looking at things. I mean, just think about it. Here's my favorite, this will sum it up. Here's my favorite quote by Henry Ford, or at least it's attributed to Henry Ford. Think about this. If you think you can do something, or you think you can't do something, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. Either way, you're right. Because you're the one thinking it. Oh, I can't do that. Well, then, okay, you can't do it. But if you think that you can, you can. All right. So what else am I doing to make this happen with my side project? Well, I'm believing that the system is going to work just like it was designed to. And when I am believing that the system is working for me and with me, when I'm doing Instacart batches and stuff like that, things run a lot smoother, even though there is this other belief that it's not designed to work for me. So sometimes I just have to adjust how I'm thinking and what I'm aware of to end up having, the best day that I can. I'm actually going to do some challenges here pretty soon to just try to test this theory out, and we'll see how that goes. So if you got any value from this, please like and subscribe. And if you want to know more about this additional income stream that I've been working on, click on the link below, check out my other videos, and I will see you on the next video.